As a business professional, not just in regular business, but in the real estate industry specifically, it's important that we know our numbers. And what's even more important than knowing our numbers is how they work together to get us to our goals. And one of the models that we use here at Keller Williams is our economic model. So I'm going to run through a very simple way to figure out what your economic model is to help you get to your goals quicker. So for the sake of our conversation today, we're going to assume that this is just for math purposes only. All commissions and numbers are different for different people. So this is just to help with our conversation. This is going to assume that at the top line of your business, you want to bring in $100,000. Your average commission that we're going to be working from today is $7,500. And when we take those two numbers, divide, we get 14. So if you were to close 14 sales at a $7,500 average commission, you would gross $100,000. So let's break this down. Now, we know that based on the most efficient model, we want our business to be 50% buyers and 50% sellers. So we're going to start on the seller side of the business over here. And there's some conversion rates that we have to work in. Your numbers will be different than this. And that's why it's important to track that. But for today, we can use an 85% conversion rate. So if we take 50% of 14, that's 7. So we're going to have 7 closings on the seller side. If we take 7 and we divide that by 85%, it's going to give you a decimal number. We always round up. It's going to be 9. So this is saying we need to take 9 listings in order to sell 7 at an 85% conversion rate. Moving down one line, we also got to figure out how many appointments. So in order to list 9 homes, we have to go on appointments to get those. And we're going to use a 70% conversion rate there. If you go on 9 appointments at a 70% conversion rate, list 9 at a 70% conversion rate, that's going to be 13 listing appointments that you'll need to go on. So what this side of the model says, if you go on 13 appointments, you will list 9 of those homes and you will close 7, which gives you half of your gross commission income. Now on the buyer side, it's 50% as well, so that's easy, 7 closings on the buy side. We're going to use a 75% conversion rate from buyer signed to buyers that end up closing. When you do that, you're going to end up here with, it's 9 and some change, so 10 buyers that sign that say they want to work with you. And then at a 70% conversion rate of a buyer appointments to buyer signed, that takes us to 15. So what this side of the model says is if you meet with 15 buyers, you should sign 10, which means you'll close 7, which is the other half of your goal to get to your 14. So very simply put, you need 13 listing appointments and 15 buyer appointments to accomplish your goal of 14 total closings. Now let's take this one step further. So 13 plus 15 equals 28. So we need 28 total appointments. Now, assuming 20 contacts will give you 1 appointment, this makes it very easy to figure out how many appointments, or how many contacts rather, I'm going to need to go on for the calendar year. If I take 28 times 20 out of 20 to 1, that's 560 contacts I need to make. 560 contacts I need to make in a year. Now let's make some more assumptions. So assume there's 20 working days in a month, and you're going to take a month off. So there's 11 months out of the year. If we take the 20 times the 11, that's 220 days. 220 days that you have to make 560 contacts. And when you do the math on that, it ends up being 2.5, but we always round up to 3. So your job as a real estate professional is to go out and find 3 people every day that you work. And if you go out and do that, then you'll have 28 total appointments on the year, which will lead to 14 closings that will lead to $100,000 in gross commission income. Now, if you'd like to find out more about how this affects your personal business and how to do the numbers for your own business, feel free to reach out. Happy to go through it with you.